Once in a peaceful ashram nestled in the hills, there was a disciple who was known for his incessant chatter. From morning till night, he would talk endlessly, filling the air with stories from nearby villages, often exaggerating and speaking of his own virtues. He would tell anyone who would listen that he had left behind a luxurious life, sacrificing comfort in pursuit of truth and self-realization. In his eyes, this made him superior to the other disciples. One day, the guru gathered all his disciples and announced, "Each of you must take a personal vow for the next month. This vow should challenge you, strengthening your willpower and inner strength. Choose one that aligns with your abilities, but pushes you beyond them. And remember, if you break your vow, you should return to your former routine without hesitation." All the disciples made their choices thoughtfully. Some chose vows of fasting. Others opted for extended meditation sessions or hard physical tasks. The talkative disciple, determined to outshine the others, approached the guru confidently and said, "Gurudev, give me the toughest vow, one that befits my strength and willpower." The guru looked at him, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "Are you sure?" he asked. "This vow may be more challenging than you expect." The disciple puffed up his chest. "I can handle anything. I am ready for whatever you choose for me." The guru nodded thoughtfully. "Very well. Your vow will be one of silence. For the next month, not a single word will pass from your lips." The disciple was taken aback. "Silence? Is that all? That's far too easy." But seeing the guru's calm expression, he decided to accept, certain he could manage it without difficulty. For the first day, the disciple's vow seemed easy. He moved around the ashram, observing others without speaking, feeling a sense of pride in his unusual silence. But by the second day, he began to feel restless. The urge to respond, to share his thoughts, was strong. By the fourth day, he found himself struggling as a sense of unease settled over him. He wanted to voice his opinions, correct others, and share his stories, but his vow restrained him. He would catch himself gesturing, making faces, and growing increasingly frustrated. By the end of the week, the disciple's internal struggle was intense. His mind was filled with unspoken words, and he began to feel physically uncomfortable. Unable to bear it, he wrote a message to his guru saying, "Gurudev, I can't breathe. My thoughts are suffocating me. Should I break my vow?" The guru read the note and replied with a serene smile, "The decision to take a vow was yours, and breaking it is also your choice. Many of your fellow disciples have returned to their old routines. However, remember that if you abandon this vow, it might be harder to overcome greater challenges in life. Choose wisely." The disciple's heart was pricked by the guru's words. He realized that keeping his vow was not just about silence, but about conquering his inner turmoil. Determined, he returned to his hut, venturing out only for essential tasks. Over the following days, he remained resolutely silent, resisting the temptation to speak. 2 weeks passed. By now, most of the disciples had given up on their vows, but the talkative disciple continued, much to the surprise of everyone in the ashram. His silence was noticed by all, especially as he was once known for his ceaseless chatter. He even avoided interaction, seeking the quietest corners of the ashram. Halfway through the third week, he approached the guru again, penning his thoughts instead of speaking. "Gurudev, though I am silent on the outside, my mind is loud. Endless questions and criticisms flood my mind, drowning me in noise. How do I silence this inner chaos?" The guru replied, "As long as you are surrounded by external noise, your mind will echo it. To find true silence, you must distance yourself from these distractions." Inspired by this guidance, the disciple left the ashram early the next morning and journeyed deep into the forest, far from all human voices. Days turned into weeks, and he was surrounded by only the natural sounds of the forest, the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, the flowing stream. At first, his mind continued its endless chatter, but gradually in the tranquility of the forest, a change occurred. The inner voices grew softer, and one day they faded entirely. For the first time, he experienced a profound silence within. One day, 3 months after his departure, the disciple returned to the ashram. His fellow disciples were stunned by the transformation. He radiated calmness, his eyes holding a peace that none had ever seen before. He no longer sought attention, nor did he need to prove himself. When he spoke, his words were few but meaningful, resonating with a calm depth. He approached his guru, bowing deeply, and asked, "Gurudev, am I truly silent now?" The guru gazed at him for a long moment and finally nodded. "Yes, you have achieved true silence, both outwardly and within." The disciple shared his realization. "When I first took this vow, I thought silence was merely the absence of words. But as I delved deeper, I discovered layers of noise within myself, judgments, pride, and self-importance. Only in solitude did these fall away, leaving me in a state of inner peace I never knew existed. I now understand that true silence is not merely the absence of speech, it is the presence of profound stillness within." The guru smiled. "Indeed. The outer world often distracts us, drawing us away from our true nature. The key is not just to speak less, but to cultivate peace within. Remember, unnecessary words drain our energy, and they often sow the seeds of conflict. When we learn to listen deeply to others and to ourselves, we find a quiet strength within, allowing us to live with awareness and compassion." From that day on, the disciple embraced a new way of being. He spoke only when necessary, and his words carried a wisdom that touched everyone who heard them. He had learned that sometimes silence itself is the most profound form of communication. Moral of the story: true silence is more than refraining from speaking. It is quieting the inner noise, letting go of the need to prove oneself, and cultivating peace within. When we learn to listen, both to ourselves and the world around us, we uncover a profound strength that transforms us from within. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe our channel Imaginea. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching.